Hello everyone, I'm Christopher, and in this video we are going to look at how to add our to-do items into local storage. Now the reason we are going to be doing this is because currently, even though our application allows us to add, delete and edit to-dos, the problem is anytime we add to-do items and reload the browser, all the to-do items get cleared, and that is because when we click on this reload button, the JavaScript code that makes our to-do item work also gets reloaded. So let's see that in action. We are going to have to do 1, to do 2. Now we click on reload button and everything is gone. So we are going to be storing our to-do items from this point onwards in local storage. But before that, we are going to press on F12 and this will take us to the Chrome Developer Tools. Then let's click on this Applications tab and we can see that down here we have local storage. And if you look on top here, we don't have any piece of data at all. So let's go to the console tab and clear this. And we are going to write some code to interact with local storage. So anytime we want to interact with local storage, we are simply going to use the name local storage. And once we do this, we have access to a few methods that we can use to interact with local storage. So the ones we are going to be using is set item and also get item. Now we use set item to insert data into local storage, and we also use get item to retrieve data from local storage. So in local storage, basically we are going to be having key and value pair of data. So let's have set item, and this particular method expects 2 arguments. The first one is going to be the key, or if you like, the name of the space where the data is going to be stored. So the key is going to be db1, and then the data or the value is going to be, for now, let's say hello world. Let's hit enter and go back to the Applications tab, and we can see that now inside our local storage we have a key value pair. The key is db1, the value is hello world. Now let's go back to our consoles tab and see how we can retrieve this data without having to go to the Applications tab. So we are going to use local storage dot get item, and we are simply going to pass the key, which is db1, and hit enter, and we can see that that has retrieved the value for this particular key. So now that we have a basic understanding of how local storage works, let's go to our code editor and see if we can make this happen. Now the first thing we are going to do is we are going to create a variable that is going to store the key of our local storage data. So let's have const, which is short for constant, because this particular key is not always going to change. So we are going to call this storage underscore key, and this is going to be equal to, let's call this view to do app storage. So let's end this with a semicolon, save all this. Then the next thing we are also going to do is in Vue.js we have what we call lifecycle hooks. So in every Vue.js application we have certain stages. We have a stage called created, and this stage occurs after our new Vue instance has been created. So what we want is anytime our instance is created, we want our application to go to local storage and see if a certain piece of data exists, and if that is true, it is going to fetch that data and assign it to our to-dos data. So let's do that. So we are going to have comma here, and we are going to have a created hooks, and inside here I'm just going to write the code and explain to you what it does. So I'm going to say this dot to-dos equal to JSON dot pass into bracket. We are going to have local storage dot get item, and we are going to pass it the storage key. So let's have our storage key, and if we are not able to get this particular key, so we are going to say or we are just simply going to pass an empty array. So let's end this with a semicolon, save our work. And so basically what we've just typed is, anytime our Vue instance is created, this particular instance, we are going to look inside local storage and see if this storage key, the one we created up here, so we are going to look for this key called Vue to do application storage. And if we find that key, we are going to fetch the value of that particular key. And because it is a string, we are going to pass it into an object before assigning it to our to-dos data. So that is what this code does. Let's save all this. Then inside our add to do function, we are also going to use local storage to store our to-dos array each time we add a new to-do item. So we're going to say local storage dot set item, and we are going to pass our storage key, so storage key, and then the data is simply going to be our to-dos array. So we'll say this dot to-dos and end this with a semicolon. So let's save all this. So this is not going to work because we are passing an array, but local storage only allows us to pass strings. So I'm going to cut all this, and I'm going to use a function called JSON.stringify, meaning we are going to convert the array into a string, and then we are going to pass our to-dos. So what we've done is this: we are calling local storage, and we are saying it should set an item inside local storage. We are passing the key, which is Vue to do app storage, and we are using this particular function to convert our to-dos array into a string. So let's save all this, and then let's go back to our application, reload it, and let's add a to-do item. So to do 1, hit enter, and now let's hit on the reload button, and we can see that still our to-dos item is there, and that is because this particular item has been stored in local storage. So let's hit on F12 to confirm this. Go to application, and we can see that now we have our Vue to do app storage key, and the value is the to-dos array. So let's close this and go back to code, and we want to repeat this same thing anytime we remove a to-do item. So let's copy the whole of this. So let's paste it down here and save our work, and then let's go back to our application, reload it, and we are going to add another to-do item. So to do 2, hit enter, reload, and you can see that still our to-do items are there, meaning they have been stored inside local storage. Now let's delete the first to-do item by clicking on the delete button, and you can see it's gone. Let's reload our application, and we can see that the deletion that we made has been effected also in local storage. So let's go back to code, and let's scroll down, and we are going to copy this so that anytime we update a to-do item, we are also going to effect that particular change inside local storage. So let's hit enter here and save this. Let's go back to our application, add a new to-do item, so to do 3, reload. You can see everything is moving well. Let's double click on to do 3, and now I'm going to change it to do 4, hit enter, reload, and we can see that our to-do items are in local storage. So as we can see, anytime we add a new to-do item, we save the whole to-dos array in local storage. When we remove a to-do item, we do the same thing. And finally, when we update a to-do item, we also save the changes to local storage. So I think that is going to be all for this video, and if you like these type of videos, I urge you to click on the subscribe button because it will help me to create more of these kinds of videos. And if you have any questions about this particular video, or you think there is something I left out of this video, you can leave your comments in the comment section below. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, I would like to say thank you for watching this video. Bye.